All right, this is going to be a short show because I've got a bad bug and I have a family member in the hospital, and this is going to be a short. I might even go over the sky mirror twice. So let's see. This is from March 7th to March 16th, program 1901. The prior new moon was at 10 Pisces 39. And the prior full moon was at 26 Leo. Now you're going to have a full moon on the 16th at 26 Virgo. So let's get after it. What do we see here? What we're going to do is let's just take a little look at the basic stuff going on here first. And here's Mars, and it's trining Mercury about the middle of next week, so there'll be some verbal hijinks and a lot of protectiveness around words. Now it's kind of different because first you're going to catch a square from Saturn, and that's going to be depressive. And you're going to be depressing things probably Monday, Tuesday, when the Mercury-Saturn thing clicks in at 23 degrees. And after you get through this trine to Saturn, probably well, let's go over it bit by bit, huh? And see what we can find. So we got a Mercury, Mars at 26-27, and we got Saturn at 23. So that's like 4 days after the depressiveness in the verbals, and that's at 23, and then another 3 degrees after that, another 3 days after that, and there'll be a good Mars trine, and you'll come out of it like a hero. So you got to get through the middle of the week to catch that Saturn thing, huh? And just try not to overdo things, and Mars will lead the way. Now, let's take a look at it day by day. We've still got your big old T-square. Here's Pluto at 13, Jupiter at 10, Uranus at 11, Pluto, Uranus, Jupiter. It's the old T-square again, huh? And a lot of your attention is there. Now, the middle of next week, here's the Mercury-Saturn square, depressive talk. But here's trine to Saturn when you get all organized. That's about next Thursday or so. And let's take a look at it day by day. Thursday night, about 8 o'clock or so, there's a trine to Venus. There's some love, there's some sex, there's some sweets around Thursday night. Enjoy yourself. That Friday now in the morning, early in the morning, there is a square to Neptune. Confusion, delusion, problems with liquids, problems with Neptune, free will versus predestination, huh? Anyway, Friday morning early, it's confusion and delusion, and it waits until the middle of Friday, about noontime here. Then there's a sextile to Uranus, and mentality comes on, and there'll be the mind will be in good shape. As you go towards late Friday night, there's a square to the Sun. Now this is like midnight and it's hard to get things done with a square to the sun. On Saturday morning, the moon's still in Gemini, and the trine to Mercury is here with the trine to Mars. So Saturday is a good time to get things done. Get physical. Start with your plans, communicate Saturday morning, get physical in the evening. And could be a good day to get some stuff done. I hope you do. Sunday, March 9th, starts with a really nice Neptune trine. Good for church, music, religion, art, music, sensitivity, some music. It's kind of nice. It starts that way on Sunday. As you go further into Sunday, you get down to about midnight, and here's a square to Uranus. And there's glitches and nervousness and twist the plugs. And that's Sunday night late. And then 2 a.m. in the morning, the moon's going to go by Jupiter, and everybody's overdoing it. Too much noise, too much party, too much everything. And now you're into that T-square. Uranus comes up next with the glitches. And that's Monday morning. Jupiter, well, now we have Uranus squaring Jupiter. And now it continues through Sunday until you get to the Monday. Well, it's really late Sunday night when Uranus comes on board. And then early Monday morning, there's the opposition to Pluto. That's right there. So it's Monday morning glitches again. It's working its way back into Sunday. And here you're on the Jupiter thing. Too much noise, too much of this. Glitches. This is a glitchy show, I gotta tell you. I'm doing it twice. And I don't like that. So we try to keep it straight and do a minimum here. There's a square to the sun Friday night, the 7th. Hard to get things done. Saturday is very physical, a lot of movement there. Do your chores. Sunday on March 9th, here's the afternoon with a trine to Neptune. Good time for music, art, religion. Read Jesus, and when you hear him, when the New Testament says, when it says that you have to, boy, I'm having trouble. I've had this bug now for, almost a month. Well, actually, I got it when I got back from my solar return. So that was January, about probably about the 7th or the 16th, 17th. You're going to have some glitches, but that's just a prelude, because this is the old T-square, full of tension, full of obstacles, confusion, glitches. It was on Monday for a while, and it's worked way back to Monday morning, and now it's into late Sunday night. So here's your glitch period. And when you get to Monday afternoon, there's a trine to the sun. You get your head, you figure out what you want to do. You can talk about it here, the trine to Mercury, and that's just after dinner. So the first half of late Sunday and early Monday, not so good. And then you got communication and projects going Monday night. On Tuesday, the moon is still, first half of Tuesday, the moon's in Cancer, and there's a square to Mars and a square to Venus, or an opposition to Venus. This is not good for social or romantic activities. This is a temper tantrum here, little road rage Tuesday morning, and then laziness and giving up feeling about 9-10 o'clock or so Tuesday, March 11th. On March 12th, the the moon's still in Leo, and in the afternoon, early afternoon, there's a nice March 12th. There's a nice trine to Uranus. Get on the internet. Use your mind. You know, that's what this is about. On Thursday, March 13th, there's your Mercury-Saturn square. Here's your depression, bad words. You just wait and see what happens. If you don't say something like SHIT here on Thursday, well, you don't understand predestination and free will, because I do it every week here. And when you're looking at this thing and stuff happens, like you go through the glitchy depression, verbal depressions on Thursday, middle of the day, by the time you get to midnight, there is a sextile to Mars, and the heroes are out, and you get physical stuff done. Not bad. On Friday morning, March 14th, the moon's in Virgo, and good time for helping people, good time for getting the job done. The confusion in the opposition to Neptune is here about just before dinner, around that time, and it's very confusing. Here's your Friday confusion. Late Friday night, there is a sextile to Jupiter, and truth and wisdom comes out. On Saturday morning, the 15th, you had late night wisdom around midnight on the 14th. And on the on the 15th, which is Saturday, it starts with a powerful feeling. There's a trine to Pluto, and it goes through the day to the trine to Saturn. So here you can handle the emergencies, you can handle the communications, you can handle all of that well-organized work Friday or Saturday. And it gets better as you go into 11 o'clock p.m., midnight on the 15th. On Sunday, that changes. The moon's still in late Virgo, but there's an opposition to the sun. And there's a full moon here. Yeah, it's Sunday morning, the 16th. And so, Saturday night and Sunday morning has a lot of extra imagination and over-exaggeration. Get organized. You get organized Saturday night, and that'll help get you through all this stuff. And the full moon, is an accident-prone time. So, word of wise is stay in on Sunday. Get yourself through Sunday. You got through the full moon point, and it'll feel a lot better. All right. All right. We've got a problem here in the United States of free will versus predestination. The est people said, before you got in that body, when you were out in spirit before, you knew all the train schedules of all the trains. The trains are your body. So you knew what was slated for each one of these birth times. And there's a lot of people who are trying to tell you that this is what free will is. You could be president if you want to. You have free will. Not so. The free will that you had was before you incarnated, because you had this one, this one, this one, and you looked at these, picked this one, and then you talked it over with your family and friends and angels and the Great Spirit. All agreed, and you took off on this train. You picked this train, and you knew what all the little pieces of the train schedule are. And then when you incarnate, here they are. And it's just like running a recording. You've got this stuff. And you're going to try to tell me that it's free will? Nah, it isn't. Predestination is what it is, because you picked the train ride, the body that you're on, and you were doing this predestination thing, which is the true philosophy, and the free will, well, it's baloney. No, everybody can't be president, huh? No. So, we've been told this is all free will. And interesting, the people who really tout the free will are the churches, because they're going to try to tell you you have all this free will, and you need to make sure you can't miss the train. Once you picked it, you're going to get on this train, and the train has this and this and this and this all scheduled, and those things are going to happen. And your attitude now is a free will. When these things are happening, you can work on your attitude, and you can change your attitude. And there's the free will. It's just your attitude, because the stuff's going to happen right on time. You picked it, and yes. Now, the predestination you have is your attitude, okay? And this attitude came with the body, came with your chart. That's how I can do chart work for you and tell you that, every Thursday for a couple of weeks you're going to be angry, and, how is that? Well, it ain't free will, because I can predict it. Now, there is a predestination that's real, and you just kind of go through it. Yeah. The free will is your attitude, so you can adjust your attitude for things, and you'll be back into that free will business, and everybody will tell you, oh yeah, you got free will. The church does it. Yeah. So you made a bunch of money, and all the people who make the money are going to say, I did that with my free will. Yes, I'm the boss of this. I'm the one that did it. And, of course, it's already on record. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are into this free will thing and trying to make this thing work, and use it. So whatever good luck you might have programmed into the chart when you were born, the chances are it'll come back this way, and you're going to try to claim it was free will. I got rich because I did it myself. I did it. No, it was already on the schedule. It was already on the schedule. And that's a big difference, because it'll change your world totally if you don't buy into all this free will. There's old prayer or something that, Lord, let me fix the things I can and ignore the things I can't fix. But, the predestination will help your attitude. It will help you a lot, because you're not going to come out and say, I did this, I made all this money. If I look at your chart, I'm going to see all that money. And what does that tell you? That tells you that it isn't free will, it's predestination. So this is a big thing in our culture. And the religious people are touting you've got this free will, and making money and getting sex and getting all these goodies. You'll say, I did that. I have my free will working, and I'm going to take credit for it. Take credit for it? Well, if it's good stuff, they will take the credit. If you realize that all these things that have happened to you in your life were just kind of good luck, then you won't take this attitude of free will. you'll go into predestination. And believe it or not, you can enjoy predestination a lot. And it allows you to change your attitude more. When you get into these free will trips, you want to be able to say, oh yeah, I recognize this as something, I got to change my attitude over this. And it works. It might take a little while sometimes. But what you'll find is, it wasn't your free will that did this. No, it wasn't the free will. You were predestined on most of this stuff. The predestination part, you can't take credit for that. You could take credit for, did I say that right? I'm not sure. Well, gee, I still, I think I'm going to go over the sky mirror again. I did a lousy job on this free will versus predestination. Maybe I'll have to do it later. Anyway, my apologies. I can't even remember my own phone number right now. I've had the flu bug ever since I got out. Came back out the 21st of January, so this is almost a month of this crap, and all I can do is apologize for a less entertaining show, and I'll just go over a little more of the sky mirror and we'll sense this up. Alright, I got a list of predictions here I've worked up, and we got through January, a month of fighting, senseless violence, police abuse, young girls and divas kidnapped, killed the last few days of January. In February, there's flooded roads, February 1st to February 8th. Some lawsuits against guns and policemen start. There's legal action against all these guns. ACLU going for gun control. The last week of February, hackers attack banks and insurance companies. March, rain, lightning disrupt power in the first week of road rage. March 3rd and March 4th. Lawyers and people win against the guns and the police. April, police, gun lobby wins. Wins a stay in the middle of the month. April 13th, WMD, weapons of mass destruction. Fighting month, another fighting month in April. Rebels attack. April 17th, labor strikes. Uranus is on kicking. In May, police win for this month. Dems and Republicans make a deal to screw the environment and the unions and the homeless. Right wing are lunatics, way over conservative in May. May 28th, new moon on the USA Uranus. Everyone watching, conservative. May 28th, new moon on the USA Uranus. Everybody's watching. Conservation. Uranus, the New Age stuff, is kind of watching and has a good chance at this. Rebels win this month in May. Yeah, flood and chemicals are a problem. June 4th to June 12th. June 4th, worker strikes being settled. Worker strikes are settled. Our problem is from June 4th to June 12th. Worker strikes are settled. June 11th, the USA wins some games, generates a little goodwill. Okay. Oh, what's this? I've been waiting on this one a little bit. Let's see what comes up. This is Kamehameha the Great's chart. I came by this birth time. I did a lot of research on it, and it came up. And here's Kamehameha's birth date. It's December 1st, 1758, 6:20 a.m., Hawaii, Big Island. And this is quite a chart. When I saw this chart, I won't tell you how I found it right now, but I did some research. And golly, he's got Sag rising. He was a very large man, huh? I mean, Sagittarius rising at 8 degrees, and the sun is at 9. So the sun didn't quite come up, but it was showing some light, because we had 3 degrees of Sag, 36 minutes. The sun's in the first house. Mercury's in the first house, too. He's a talker. He's a writer. Then there's Moon conjunct Pluto, a very, what do they call, commanding personality, powerful person. Could be a little dictatorial at times, but the moon Pluto trines Neptune, and there's a priestliness here, there's a religion. Kamehameha was really into religion. When he heard the Christian religion philosophy, he just laughed. He said, that's so silly. So Neptune trined the sun, Neptune trined the Mercury, Neptune trined the moon, and Pluto. And all these planets have a touch of religion and art and music and famousness. Now, he's also got Jupiter conjunct Mars. Here's the warrior, a philosopher warrior. Yeah. And he's Sagittarius rising, so Jupiter is his ruling planet. And when you look at that, Jupiter conjuncts Mars. He's a warrior, wise man. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And lawyers and professors and people who throw lightning bolts of truth. So Saturn also sextiles his Jupiter and his Mars. So he's very, very good at politics, good at the warrior trip. He's got a Jupiter-Saturn sextile. He's always right. He first he expands it, and then he contracts it, and he meets it right in the middle. There's a square to the 4th house, right heavy to Uranus. And I remember reading that the king never had a place to lay his head. And that's Uranus in the 4th house. Also, he has Venus up here in the 12th, kind of close to things and risings. My apologies for this show. It'll be a lot better next week. Come back next week. Aloha. Pluto. So this is all about him, all these planets in the first house of his identity.